You're listening to Get Tilted, only on Fantasy Now Plus.
What's up, everyone? Tim from Fantasy Now Plus here, and we have a very special stream for y'all. We're obviously going to do some best ball drafts. That's what we do over here. But we are joined by a very special guest, a new member of Fantasy Now Plus. So, without further ado, would like to introduce another Bryan, because this isn't confusing enough. So, obviously, we're always joined by Bryan Rockwood, but we are also joined by Bryan F. Bryan, how are you doing?
Not too bad. Yeah. Happy to be here on my first, official Fantasy Now Plus stream. I don't do a ton of best ball, but what I do, I like to do with passion and gusto, and so I hopefully we'll have a good time tonight.
Absolutely. Mr. Rockwood, how are you doing?
Pretty good. I'm laughing because I really had a chance for a good bit, which was immediately when you said, "Bryan, how are you doing?" Just talking the same exact time as Bryan Ford was talking, and I thought that would be what an amazing kickoff to this show. Just, yeah. I mean, not that we don't already talk over each other sometimes, but like having another mind in here is just like, the chaos is going to ensue. I'm so excited. I can't wait.
Absolutely. Alrighty, folks. So a lot of the contests have closed. We are without our puppy threes. So instead, we're going to have our lovely hound dog twos to make us a little bit happier. This is a $6 entry. Advanced structure, pretty soft, to be honest. 4 out of 12, 2 out of 5, 2 out of 5, 992 person final. This is only a 10 max entry tournament at $6 per, so you could max this contest for $60. And honestly, pretty good payout for paying $60. I mean, first place gets you 20 grand, but it's very steep, Finishing in 10th place, you only get 1,000. 100th place, you are barely making a profit if you max. So definitely need to try to win. But that is what we are going to be drafting today. And let's see how long it takes to fill this lobby.
So just a little peek behind the curtain here. So obviously we were streaming, Tim and I, earlier today. We hopped on the main show at noon Eastern. And if you were tuned into that, you saw me struggle with my mute button for some reason. I don't know why. And now it has just continued again. So I apologize for clearing my throat into the mic right there. I guess I'm just out of it today. So thank goodness you are driving, because you only know what would happen if I was queuing up players. So,
yep.
Yeah, this is interesting. I didn't know this opened, and the fact that it's already halfway filled is nuts.
That's underdog in August for you.
Yeah, it's the first I heard of the hound dog too. In other words, TOO. And I just hopped in a couple slows myself. I'm a slow draft baddie.
Yeah.
I like 90% of what I do is slows. It just works better for the rhythm of my day, and my brain will just fry if I do too many like quick clocks. Yeah.
Absolutely. What are we thinking at 104? Just whoever falls between Chase and Puka, or do we got something spicy?
I don't think you play too much in the first round. I think I'd be willing to have any of those top three wide receivers.
Alrighty, it's Puka. It is.
Now, I am of the mind that the logjam of running backs at the turn is an indictment on the fantasy community as an overcorrection and capitulating to big running back. So we'll see what comes back around at the end, right? Because we're probably going to see a lot of double tap RB, or at least that clog of running backs be gone by the time it gets to us at the 2-3, I would imagine, or close to the 2-3. Yeah.
we tried so hard one time to really break the mold at the 12 position. We went, I believe, Jefferson Neighbors one time instead of double RB, and
we've
that
done Lamb Neighbors as well from that spot.
and it feels pretty interesting to like kind of I don't know, zig when other people were zagging. I know it's not really the phrase, but it's whatever. You understand what I mean? And I don't know. It's strange because you don't see many other drafters fall into that. Maybe it's just because they see the value is too good. Maybe they are just scared to miss out on running backs because it is a long way back to round 3 for the 12 drafter. But at the same time, I don't know. I can't. Oh no. No. So this is now in an interesting spot.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were because
I'm
we
good.
lost Tim's
Okay.
cam. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're good.
I just turned the cam off. I have not lost
okay.
internet yet.
So that's what I thought happened. And I was like, oh my
Yeah.
God, Andy's on the sticks.
Nope. We're good. Just had to,
Okay.
blow my nose after barely being able to mute and sneeze earlier.
Well done. That's
Man,
pro move right there.
we're just a fun bunch tonight. We're all over the place. I love it.
Absolutely.
Only good things can happen. So Tim, when you say because of the advanced structure that you kind of are trying to win, you're essentially saying it's like it's kind of like one of those the prize structure in like a DFS tournament where it's like you might as well be first or you're last, right?
Yep.
So would you say that even more than in say a typical best ball draft, you're leaning towards upside plays, the kind of upside wins championships from redraft and dynasty, and just migrate that over to this particular tournament? And what would that mean?
That's what I would think. We're about to be on the clock, so we have Bowers with the knee fears. We have all these wide receivers. My personal pick would be Malik Neighbors here, but I'm also open to Collins, London.
I would do Nico. With the Higgins news, I think what we're looking at is huge target share for Nico, even more than he was going to have before, probably.
Yeah, I haven't moved him up in underdog, but I have moved him up in my actual best ball ranks on Fantasy Pros and on our website. I think he probably should go ahead of London now, and he's like back to back with Neighbors for me. But yeah, like Neighbors is like the ultimate upside swing for me at the 2-3 turn. And Collins has kind of gotten to that point as well with one less mouth to feed. So I think upside is the ultimate swing, but with a somewhat soft advanced structure, you can still kind of lean into safety in some spots and be okay with it. But I do think, I don't have a huge lean. ADP, Love, Smith, Brees Hall, Zay Flowers, Kyron.
It's the year of Zay. If y'all are okay with 3 wide receivers in a row, otherwise I would do Brees.
Absolutely, we've been doing a lot of zero
friends
RB.
We are a pro zero RB show, and honestly, I'm very curious to see. And I think we could.
I also love Lad. Sorry to interrupt, but like I'm probably bigger on Lad than most people this year. I think when we say the whole next JSN thing, I think he's number 1 as far as that goes.
Yeah,
and you're not wrong. You're not wrong to love Lad because he is. Probably better Zay, but Zay got the big bag, and then like the Chargers have a ton of mouths to feed. So like that's like the only reason you might want to pick one or the other. But yeah, like if Zay wasn't there, I think Lad would just be like insta pick.
Yep. I have 16% Lad. Him and Waddle are just like absolute smashes to me in the 3rd and 4th rounds pretty much every time. I'm overweight on Zay Flowers as well. So I think going zero RB is leaning into this idea of more upside, more, like you said, everyone at the 1-2 turn starts double running back pretty much. Everyone's got like 2 to 3 running backs through 4 rounds for the most part. But I still think that there's a lot of pretty solid zero RB targets on this board. You do have to get a little bit lucky. You do have to pick your spots. But for the most part, I like going 0 RB. I want to, when the field is all doing this heavy RB starts, 2 RBs through 3, pretty much across the board, it feels good to kind of not go with that. It does suck that we have another 0 RB team directly next to us on both sides. That's going to make things a little complicated. So we may want to bail out depending on the running backs that are here, because otherwise we're just going to be fighting for the same guys every single round and get sniped every single round because we are surrounded.
So I guess I need to make my 7-point case for Travion Henderson then, like right now.
I'm very ready.
I think I do have it memorized actually. So number one, just like any other rookie, they have a weird offseason. They're preparing for drafts. They don't have, and so it hits people different ways, right? Number two, he was getting used to a gap scheme where he ran mostly zone in college. Number three, pass pro is difficult now in the NFL, even more than usual with the exotic defenses. Who's coming where? Who's shooting what gap? You're faking this and backing up. Oh, on this one, I have to go cross formation. You saw what happened to Tyrone Tracy.
We are on the clock.
Yeah, okay. All right, what do we got?
Whiffed or Tootin?
Burden, Swift,
Tootin. It's the year of Tootin. I am stubborn. You will never get me off Tootin if he's on the clock. I'm sorry. I am overriding any talk on this. This is a Tootin show tonight.
I'm with you. I got 13%. We're gonna sit here and be frozen. There we go. And there's a pretty solid shot we get Trevion back in the 5th. We could try and push him to the 6th, but probably no real good reason to, unless someone like at the very top of the queue falls all the way back to us. But even then, I'm not really clamoring for anyone in particular. We do have our favorite boy, Parker Washington, as well.
That's a consolation I'm okay with.
Yeah.
So number 4, Josh McDaniel, his offense can be hard for rookie running backs, particularly the pass pro they're in. Number 5, Vrabel's a boomer with rookies. Number 6, right? He can be better on fewer touches because of number 7, receiving and explosiveness.
Yeah.
Stop. Draft Hendo. What are we doing?
Yep.
Do we want to win?
We do.
Put Hendo win.
That's it. There you go. 7-point case. The slide deck next week.
I'm all right. I'm a very easily persuaded person, so that is all I need to hear. Got him on the spit take. Let's go.
You heard that, ladies, or actually, I shouldn't assume. I'm very, very sorry. I thought you did mention a significant other of that variety before. I apologize.
Oh, it's okay. I do have a wife.
Okay, there you go.
Alrighty.
Wouldn't be the first time I put my foot in my mouth. When it came to set. Oh, wait, hold on. All right. All right. So, we got Tootin and Hendo.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
My pants are getting small.
Yep. And
Love it.
It's a lot of upside. There's some safety in Puka, there's some safety in Nico, and there's some safety in Flowers, and then you're taking 2 very big, very high upside shots at the running back position. We don't have to continue to hammer running back. We can treat this as these are our 2 that we think are going to start most of the season. We don't have to feel like, let's take, Tony Pollard. That'll make this team better. Like, we can, but we don't need to reach for Pollard. We don't need to reach for anyone at this point. We're balanced and still swinging for upside and not really giving up points at any position yet.
Draft like you're right.
Exactly.
Right. Scared money don't make money, or something like that. I don't know.
Something like that.
I have no money, so I wouldn't know.
Yep.
So wait, so it sounds like you literally cannot have scared money then.
Exactly. Well, I'm not playing with mine tonight. No, honestly, like if I was with my own money and I walked away with that first 5 rounds, that'd be perfect for me. Like absolutely perfect for a drafter like me. And then like Tim said, I can say, okay, those are my two baby boys at running back. I've staked my claim on that. Like those first 5 picks are going to define what my team is, and I'm either going to win or I'm going to lose based on the way I picked those first 5 rounds, right? Or at least, well, theoretically, right? Because the impact of earlier picks, we know mathematically that happens. So by the time we get back to, it's a little hard for me to see on the screen. So, but it's just my eyes. It's not nothing to do with you. By the time we get back, are we in the quarterback window yet, or no?
Yeah, we're firmly in the quarterback window. The only running back left is Ramondre. The first wide receiver by ADP is Quentin Johnston. So it's basically like, which running quarterback would you like, Daniels or Hurts? They're both here.
You know what? Laramie Tunsil is not a small thing.
Yeah.
Both physically and metaphorically. I'm gonna go with Hurts if I had to choose between the two. As a Hurts detractor, I'm hearing good things about how he's adapting to the ultimatum that Philly gave him.
Yeah.
And so, you know what? Let's go for it.
Absolutely. Don't have to stack him, but there are back stacks available later if we truly want to do so. I think in a pretty small tournament, stacking is still a little bit important, but not nearly as important in a contest like Best Ball Mania, where you're competing against tens of thousands of folks. This is a very small time box tournament. You just need a top 4 score through the first 14 weeks to advance. So at some point, we just need points. We could get Daniels on the way back if we want to just go double elite and shut her down.
It's not something I do usually. It just would depend on. I mean, we could have. It looks like Lemon, right? Available or no?
Downs, Lemon,
available.
Pollard, Dowdle, QJ.
I mean, I'm team Downs like all the time. He's my baby boy, like Tootin and Hendo. But I'd use the stack as a tiebreaker if we wanted to take Lemon.
My main
Lemon's falling, so I went Downs because Lemon could be here next round. Same with Tyson.
Right.
Like their ADPs are still
the injuries
high. Yeah, like the ADPs are still high and they're not falling enough. So there's a chance.
And people are scared. You have the soft, advanced structure, but yet people are still worried, right? Like,
yeah.
If especially the people in the back of this draft, right, that are still looking for their third wide receiver, like they're not going to take Lemon. Like that'd be pretty risky this early. So there's a good shot that he comes back.
Yeah, and I do think Downs belongs up here. I think he should absolutely be going ahead of Jaden Reed, Cortland Sutton, DK Metcalf. He's probably around the Marvin Harrison, Brian Thomas range for me, just from like a ranking perspective. I'm not scared by Keenan Allen. I'm encouraged by the fact that Keenan Allen was the guy they signed, and they didn't trade for Booty. They didn't trade for one of the Eagles' 5 wide receiver 4s. Like, I think it's just Keenan's a slot receiver. Downs, they don't want to be a slot receiver anymore. They want him to be on the field in 11, in 12, in 2 wide receiver sets. And when Pierce comes back, it'll be Pierce and Downs. Until then, it's going to be Ashton Doolin or Westbrook Akine and Downs.
Yeah, and the way that Steichen can do it too is he was already talking about doing this with Downs as an outside guy, using condensed formations and motions to make a lot of this stuff work. And both of those guys have inside-outside capability as well, and they can easily coexist. And one of them happens to be a dusty 34-year-old. So,
yep,
I think I'm comfortable with that.
Yep, and will Downs' volume projection take a slight hit? Sure. But like, he was already like 2 rounds too cheap anyways. So I think 76 is still a lovely price for him. He's feels a lot better than every wide receiver that went before him for a while and has gone since. So don't feel stressed out about that at all. The 6 hole did get a nice McLaurin in the 5th, Jaden Daniels in the 7th little run there. So that was good for them for sure. Normally you have to take Daniels in the 6th once you take McLaurin, but he definitely got some good value on this team. But he did reach for Genty at 6, so that
kind of Genty went at 6. I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
Christian McCaffrey went at 10 in this draft, which is interesting.
And you know for a fact, Tim, someone's watching the stream earlier because Ken Walker went at 12.
I know. Yeah, Tyson and Lemon are both at the top of the queue right now.
Oh, just kidding. There goes Tyson.
No.
Oh, wait, no. Who just went? It went Diggs.
Yeah,
is that the
pick
the,
away
Jane
from
Daniels
Lions
drafter?
moved. Yeah. We could go Dobbins or Monangai. Dobbins goes. I think it's just Mekhi Lemon here.
Yeah, I'd be happy with Lemon. I'd be happy with Tyson in that order, and then if not, you know, I don't know.
Man,
like like in my head, I know I have low percentage Pittman, so like but
I don't think our room needs Pittman necessarily. Like, we have safety up top. Man, this thing really doesn't like it when I auto pick. But I'm gonna already just stand on the table and scream for Bill at this next pick.
you don't have to scream loud. I am an early adopter of Bill. Yeah,
Perfect.
like January Senior Bowl season, like when he was like at the Shrine Bowl, like
yeah,
I'm on board.
Yeah,
sold.
He is a late round pick for completely non-football reasons. He was a good prospect when you take into account that he didn't lose his senior season because of injury. It was because the NCAA is stupid, shocker, and like he's in a perfect situation. We don't have a stacking quarterback we need to worry about. Like Stafford, kind of, but Stafford's the kind of quarterback that you just kind of push to see who blinks first between the Puka and the Adams drafter, and like Kyler Murray and Jordan Love just went in the 90s for some reason. So I want Tyson to keep going. We're good with Bill here.
Oh yeah. Don't mess with Bill.
There's a chance that Tyson misses a pretty solid chunk of time, and I kind of want more of a discount than like 20 picks. I kind of want him in like the 1-teens, 120s if I can get him. And if I never get him, then I'll adjust. But until we kind of know for sure where he's actually going to land from an ADP standpoint, I don't really want to be the one catching the falling knife.
Sure.
So, and with Lemon already on the team, injured, like I'd rather stick with one unless we get a value on the other.
Now, I would not be opposed to what I have done a lot, especially later in the off season, is don't fall into the trap of, and we didn't do it with Hurts, but like a lot of people will, I'm not going to take Purdy because I don't have Evans. I'll take an unstacked quarterback, especially if I'm getting an ADP value, and then do the back stack later, with somebody cheap. Because he's just going to be good at scoring points throughout the year. So I'll take him at a discount.
Yeah. Purdy, especially. I mean, Stribling looks like he might be good against all odds. Like Debo's back. Kittle is a back stack. If you want to plug your nose and barf, you can take Christian Kirk in the last round. Like Purdy is one of my favorite to back stack. Tyson goes at 106 here. So, not really that. I'm curious where the Adams drafter is in this room. He's right here. He already has 2 quarterbacks unstacked. So there's a chance that he has no interest in Stafford, and we get him all the way back at 117.
There's the QB number 3.
Yeah, sure is. Okay, then. If you want, also unstacked.
3 QB has been pretty popular with a lot of folks this year. I'm not a huge fan. To me, it's just I don't know, just with the prices, right? And it's like I'll do a 3 QB if I started late, or if my first and or second one has some like red flags, question marks, that injuries, that kind of thing.
Yep. For me here, I think it's Stafford and Gainwell. Open to other suggestions from who's on the board. Gainwell just went. I'm also open to Mason.
I would grab Stafford. Yeah.
We got like Wandale, Kittle.
Like Aaron Jones is there. He is semi-interesting, but probably on the way back.
Yeah. Like we could try and play chicken with Stafford, but I don't see anyone that I particularly want to play chicken with. I'd rather just like take Stafford and take one of these dusty running backs on the way back and figure it out.
Right
Yes,
on.
I know. I auto picked. It's fine. You don't have to freeze underdog. Obviously, we are going to avoid Jaden Higgins like the plague. If you did not hear the news already, torn ACL, out for the season. Major bummer, but going to open up a very interesting opportunity for Jalen Knoll and for Dalton Schultz and for Tank Dell. So it'll be interesting to keep an eye on that wide receiver room through the rest of preseason to see how that goes. We're also getting a huge faller in Wandale here. If we want to continue to add on to wide receiver, or Aaron Jones or Keaton Mitchell would be my votes.
I'd be open to Keaton, Kittle, and Wandale in that order. Yeah.
Okay. Keaton,
The missile.
We love the missile. We do have 3 week 7 buys at running back, so probably need to be done with that particular week at that position for the rest of the team, but not
Scared. Nah, fuck.
Do more.
Screw the bye week pros. No, we're living on the edge. We're taking a 0 at running back. I feel you. That's why I have a lot of respect for people who do so many fast drafts and stream at the same time. Like I couldn't. Yeah, all these moving parts. Like no, I can't. Like it's breaks my brain.
It's both harder and easier for pre-draft because we don't know the bye weeks yet. So we're just like we're just picking teams and praying. But it's also just like, man, I wish I knew the teams.
Yeah, those early season drafts felt a lot better because we didn't know better. We didn't know what was gonna happen. Like I love jokingly looking at the Eli Stowers exposure and we're like, oh boy. Love me a third string tight end on the Eagles.
Let me see what my pre-draft looks like.
Listen, it would be funny for us to do a video or a stream of just going back and looking through some of our pre-draft drafts.
Just looking at all the little boards that we did. Oh my god.
I think we had like 20-something% exposure to Stowers. So like the Eagles were one of the worst case scenarios for this year anyways. Long term, I think it's good, but this year I do not. So
all right, so it looks like I had a lot of Kamani Vidal just because he's just my boy, and that was pre-Keaton.
Yeah.
I hedged because I hate Nicholas Singleton, so I avoided him in Dynasty and just took him as an upside pick in best ball. And so other than that, doesn't look too nothing that I would cry over yet. And I'm scrolling down a bit. I mean, maybe a little too much Geno, but I was scooping up value.
Yeah. I know I was never heavy on Pearsall or Higgins, so should be safe on them. I'm heavy on Travis Hunter both times, so that's not really going to change. We have an absurd amount of Pat Freiermuth because he's like the only tight end click down there that was just like, oh yeah, he's starting. So that's at least softened a little bit because we've gotten other starting tight ends that don't feel like hot garbage in the 17th and 18th round, at least. Tyrone Tracy at the 12th is certainly a choice.
Yeah, especially now. Like I happen to think Najee is closer to nothing burger than a lot of people think, but not totally nothing. At the same time, there's other picks to make that make more sense. Yeah.
On the clock, we could go Juwan Johnson. We could go Boston, Chig, CJ Stroud, stacked, Brenton Strange.
Juwan.
I like it. Can I get him there?
Underhill called him criminally underrated when he saw tight end ranks, and this was pre-Tyson hamstring. So, I like that. Oh, we got him?
Yep.
Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah, it's hard for me to tell when we're on the clock. I'm sorry about that.
No, you're good. I got nimble fingers. Do we want Stroud on the way back as a QB3 if he falls? I mean, he's stacked with Nico.
It's interesting. I almost want to say no, only because the ceiling is so low for Stroud.
It's
But-
really not an ADP value either. It's 2 picks.
He might keep falling. Like, let's quick glance at the big board for a second here. Let's see. Oh wait, we have like 10 seconds, so actually never mind. I was gonna say on the way back, a lot of these teams have 3 QBs already, so you might just keep falling.
Yeah. So Omar, let's see. Chig, Brenton Strange, Jonah Coleman, Tank Bigsby, Hunter Henry, Jalen McMillan.
Coleman. I'm intrigued by Coleman, I think.
Okay. I'm down with that as our 5th running back. Through 13 rounds, we have a 2-5-5-1. Jalen Hurts, Matthew Stafford at quarterback. Bashal Tootin, Trevion Henderson, Bill Krosky-Merritt, Keaton Mitchell, the Missile, and Jonah Coleman at running back. Puka Nacua, Nico Collins, Zay Flowers, Josh Downs, Mekhi Lemon at wide receiver, and Jawan Johnson as the lone tight end. So
this is such a me. This is bound to fail. This has me all over it.
Oh, come on.
this
A little confidence with you, huh? Come on. Say with your chest.
This has a lot of us on it too, to be fair.
Good. Okay, so we're all going down together.
Yep,
Absolutely. That's what we do here.
we have lots of Bill, we have lots of Missile, we have lots of Mekhi Lemon. We usually take an elite quarterback in the 6th in the back half. Like, we usually have a couple fun running backs early. So we build a lot of teams like this. It's just about getting the right combo. So I'm totally cool with this build. I think we probably stick with 2 quarterbacks unless like Geno or Rodgers is available in round 18, then like sure, and no one else sticks out. But I don't feel pressed. They have different bye weeks. I'm good with just Hurts and Stafford and being done. Probably going to go 3 tight end. And then, so 2 tight ends, and then like 1 running back, 2 wide receivers, or 2 running backs, 1 wide receiver, I think is probably the way we finish this one out.
Based on recent anecdotally slows that I've been in, I don't think T Ferg's going to make it back to us. If he
one of our favorites, if he does.
Oh, I love y'all. We should draft.
I don't even know if you can pull up your wait. Does this overlay have your current exposure? I forget.
Yeah, this is current up to date.
Pull up he's not in double digits yet. Oh,
we were late to the party on him, to be fair. We were late to the party. I'm good.
Oh my lord! And there it goes. Oh,
I'm good with Bigsby or Lloyd here. I'm good with Omar Cooper.
You got the week 17 with Nico, and I actually had like almost 25% Lloyd, and a lot of that was like when he was like 17, 16. I mean, I'll grab a couple now, but like a lot of that is from just early pounding.
He goes.
Oh,
they're listening to us. Thank you for tuning in, but stop it.
Let's do Tank.
I think Tank's pretty good value back here.
We have an Eagles stack already, so it makes sense that we're just going to play this through Saquon gets hurt. It's on the back of Hurts, Tank, and Mekhi Lemon in week 17.
And the thing I was going to say about Nico before is, Stroud before is Nico's a better bet now, I like. But that also means they might go even more run heavy without Higgins.
Yeah.
So it actually might, it's going to be bad for Stroud. So
woof. Schultz is up at 13.
But I do think Stroud before this was a little underrated. I think people was a little recency bias.
Yeah. We just had a Brissett and Mendoza turn in the 15th. So
interesting.
I like Pat Bryan. I like A.D. Mitchell. I still like Omar Cooper. Tank Dell just went. Pat Bryant, it is.
I mean, I love Cooper too, even in Dynasty. And I guess I'm operating in my head that I have like 13% already. And so like I'm cooling down a bit with the news, Isaiah Williams is cool and all. I think it's more of Cooper's just maybe coming along a little slower than they like. Then, Isaiah Williams going to be above him in a meaningful way when things start to really count.
Yeah. And like, I'm going to be honest, if there's one front office and coaching staff whose judgment I do not trust in the slightest on player evals, I'm going to say it's the New York Football Jets. So
Listen, I grew up a Jets fan, so I know
I'm
the
so
pain.
sorry.
Yeah. No, I don't root for anybody anymore. So I've been liberated.
Oh my God, they just beat the fandom out of you, huh?
Being a Jets fan will do that.
It wasn't just because they sucked, although that didn't hurt. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, I love me some Barner.
Do we like Sadiq even with the injury?
I mean, it's a weapon tight end who's a rookie with Frank Reich and has to start the year hurt. Like,
yeah,
it's like I'm starting to think like however much I have in my portfolio is probably enough by now. But like,
yeah,
I guess that would be an exposure based question for me. Yeah,
it's also like he falls a lot, and like tacking him on as like a third tight end in the 200s just feels like, yeah, I'd rather have him than Darren Waller or
for sure, yeah.
Like,
but I like the guys you got tagged. I'm a Helm. I don't know. I'm just trying to come up with something like there was alliteration with H. Helm homie.
Yeah,
I'm a Helm homie. So
yes.
I'm good with it. So we are
entrenched in Helms. I think you're entrenched in
that's
Helms.
Brian's connection there.
Sorry,
Tim? What did you say? I talked over you.
Oh, you're good. I'm just saying you're entrenched in Helms Deep.
Now we're talking. Yes, I was just gonna say we're Helms Deep with Gunner.
Also, Cooper all the way here at 189. Like, I'm taking him. I respectfully.
Okay, yeah.
A.D. Mitchell's similar, but I'd probably put it in that order.
Yeah. Mitchell, I think people at this point are overthinking Cooper.
Yeah,
if he's fallen this far, like, come on.
I mean, like, there's a chance that like Ted Hurst, Jeremy Bernard, like Zachariah Branch, Caleb Douglas just went. Like, respectfully, we've lost the plot a little bit.
That hype train has no brakes.
Yeah,
I cannot believe it. I don't know who's more insane, Cyrus Allen or Caleb Douglas. Probably Cyrus Allen at this point.
I tend to be a centrist on both, but the thing is, as part of my dynasty rookie stuff, like I kind of liked both as sleepers, but like as sleepers, like however, I'm willing to admit that because directionally I was like above consensus to begin with, that maybe I was even too low, and that if Cyrus Allen is the best man beater on Kansas City, and he's going to outshine Rashee Rice, then they're going to throw him the ball.
That is wild that we just got Omar Cooper at the 16-9.
Love it.
As our seventh and final wide receiver, probably just two tight ends.
Yeah.
Unless the tight end room just completely falls off the cliff, which it's very close to doing.
No, we're good. We're good. We trust the process here.
We are not already doing the Kohler Bear. We're just not.
If we lost out on T-Ferg, I wouldn't mind, Parkinson, because we do have Stafford. I'm probably higher on him than I would be on Waller. Although, like, I'm drafting Waller because I don't have much of him. It's like that's still Bryce Young and that offense. So
yeah. Although in this tournament, it doesn't really matter since it's time boxed and it opened after he signed. So like he's going to be 100-ish% drafted. Very true. I think it's Gunnar Helm here for me pretty easily.
Yeah, I would agree here. I didn't see much of the actual game, but did you guys see Max Clare play at all for LA in that preseason game?
No. I mean, I heard that he did.
At least on the box score.
Yeah.
Oh, I would love Mayer. I thought he went already.
No, I think he's a sneaky 18th round pick right now until we know for certain what's going on with Bowers.
I think he's sneaky round 18 the day Kubiak got hired.
That's fair.
They're going to be running quote unquote 12 nominally with Bowers essentially functioning as a wide receiver. So Mayer for me was like he was the almost every down wide tight end already.
Yeah.
A highly touted, rookie, although slightly disappointing with athleticism, was second in Mackey award voting. We liked him. He had in, I think, either his first or second year, there was a like kind of undisclosed mental health family thing that I think has contributed to how people are viewing him as like out of sight, out of mind. I think
Yeah.
if you put all that together, he's a great pick. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm down to take him here, assuming no one stream snipes us. But we are coming up here on the 18th round of this pick. It's pretty certainly a tight end. We can look at the board real quick. I'm not interested in Kamara with the injury news. Emmett Johnson is somewhat interesting.
I would take him if we said YOLO or lost out on all the tight ends.
Yeah, he just went. So
there you go.
Yep. Yeah, that's about it. Wide receivers all just flat and boring. We don't really need a wide receiver either. So yeah, I think we'll just take one of Mayer or Parkinson if somehow they both go. I mean, Freiermuth is still on the board at this point. Ted Hurst is on the board and it's interesting.
I can't believe you just called Ted Hurst boring, man. Come on now.
He's pretty boring. He's a sacrificial X. Let's be fully here.
For sacrificial for now.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Think about it though.
That's what we're drafting is for now.
Well, no, if you look at Baker's numbers with and without Evans, he needs a strong X boundary receiver, right? You also now have a team with McMillan just coming back from injury, Godwin old, losing juice, turf toe for Ibuka. Like, this guy may become important at work. And people are like, I don't want anything to do with him because he's from Georgia Southern and he might take a little while to develop in the NFL. I'm like,
Yeah. I think
But then again, I'm biased because I was a Hurst bro in the rookie process. So
I was too. And I think it is a solid landing spot. It's kind of just like there was a point where he was expensive and that's where like he was going where Cyrus Allen was going. And I was like, they said he could play X one time in a news report. And he went up like 4 rounds because of that. And I was like, let's calm down a little. But now that he's back in the 18th round, I do think that he's much more clickable, especially considering Chris Bell just went off the board. Like, yes, he's back from he's back practicing, but like,
we got Mayer.
It's still the Dolphins.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, I took Mayer.
This is like the perfect draft for me. Like,
I don't want to
you.
get excited, but I think we just won to $20,000.
We won the money.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I'll recap the team real quick. 2-6-7-3 feels very good indeed. Jalen Hurts, Matthew Stafford are the only 2 quarterbacks. That feels fine. Running back, Bayshal Tootin, Trevion Henderson, Bill Krosky-Merritt, Keaton Missile, Jonah Coleman, Tank Bigsby. Wide receiver room, very strong. Puka Nacua, Nico Collins, Zay Flowers, Josh Downs, Mekhi Lemon, 11 picks past ADP, Pat Bryant, and Omar Cooper, 32 picks past ADP in the 16th round for some reason. And then a wonderfully cromulent tight end room of Jawan Johnson, Gunnar Helm, and Michael Mayer. What do we think?
That team slaps. Like,
beautiful.
I love it. Love
it.
Yeah. I think essentially we said, listen, upside is going to win this thing. The way that we like to draft, we're going to be attracted to some of these upside plays. Did we maybe overdo it? Like, if we were if we were considered slappy or whatever for some of this, yeah, sure, maybe. But like, have fun. It's a $6, 10 max. Like, have fun.
Yeah.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Absolutely.
Right. Gang, I'm gonna kind of show my greenness a little bit. Still, we've been drafting a lot of best ball.
Mm-hmm.
What is a slappy? I don't understand what that means.
Have you watched Davis Maddox stream?
I have not.
Okay.
So
a slappy is someone who sees Terrence Ferguson in the 13th round and gets very excited.
Okay.
We call him a slappy because it's based on a joke, I think, on ship chasing of basically the idea that there's seals that like sit out and just stare into the sun all day and like go blind from it, more or less. And so we basically likened the best ball bros who are, just pure upside. Like they're basically dynasty bros, but they got bored. And like,
a lot of zero RB, a lot of rookies, a lot of shiny, and the seals slap for people feeding them, and they'll go blind slapping rather than stop slapping, and that kind of thing. So yeah, it's kind of
got it. Okay.
Yeah. So
Wonderful.
It's kind of like the
I love
opposite
that
of a
analogy.
kind of like because kind of like slappy boomer like spectrum, you know. So
yeah.
I
yeah.
see. Okay.
Yeah. So, a boomer will go 5 running backs in 6 rounds and just be like, I could tack on 2 more later. And
We'll
then
run the damn ball. Yeah.
yeah, a slappy will go basically no running backs through 12 and then just 6 running backs to end and be like, I could get there. No, you can't.
Right. Yeah.
I see. So that sounds like a lot of my first year of drafting because yeah, I had some 4 RB teams when I first started playing basketball a couple years ago. So, oops.
I mean, they work. You
A lot
just
of sense.
have to have the right 4.
Do y'all want to try being a little boomer on this one? Like
Yeah, we'll
almost go the opposite if we think the draft plays that way for us.
Yeah,
Or is that not fun enough? Like I don't.
Well, see, here's the thing: we can make it fun. It's all up to us. We're in control of how ridiculous or how boomer you can get with these running backs.
Well, again, it ain't my money. You know?
Oh, good. The absolute worst spot to go boomer from the 103.
No. Watch. This is the super easy. They're gonna click Chase 2, then we get Bijan 3, and we just get that ball going.
Hero wide receiver, Chase, and then just Green for rounds upon rounds.
That might be great. That might cook. I don't know. We'll see.
The running backs at the 2-3 turn are the most disgusting click on the board for me.
What do we got these days at 2-3?
It's injured Love, it's injured Hall, it's Achan who's rising again, it's Kyron Williams, it's Josh Jacobs. Like,
yeah, I'm probably still a little higher on Hall than some of the groin pessimists, but other than that, I don't like any of those guys really.
Yeah, like I like Love because of the draft capital, but I fully acknowledge that as a Cardinals fan, like it's a bad offense and we don't want to overinvest in him, and he has Genty sadness in his range of outcomes. We'll see if they go Bijan here. Otherwise, we're
on the tank. They're thinking about it.
You're just gonna auto him.
Wow, they're real deep. Oh, come on.
Yeah, let's do Chase.
All right.
It does feel good to have a Chase and Puka teams in my first 2 out of these 10, though. Those are 2 players I would love to be very indexed on. So, I mean, like, obviously, if any of this wall of green falls back to us, I think we smash the button. But
Sure.
Unfortunately, this feels very much like another 3 wide receiver start for the most part, or like 2 wide receivers and Brees, and then like figure it out later. But
I happen to be a huge Loveland lover.
Okay.
Do you think we're? I don't have the like board and where people fall as memorized easily because I do so many slows. It's like it doesn't like stamp in my brain. Is Loveland going to be in the early
close.
4th, or is it too early, too late? I forget.
He goes at 44. We pick at 46, but people also usually see his name specifically and are like, I'm going to pull him up to the 3-4 turn. So depending
people
on
love their Bears.
Yeah. But I also love Burden. I think both of them are good bets at the same cost. So one of them usually falls to 46. Just thinking out loud, we could have taken Burden last time before we went tootin'. So yeah, I think we'll just kind of see how this goes. I imagine the running back run just goes as per usual, and we probably get to have the Nico versus Neighbors conversation again.
So maybe we'll go as boomer as we can within reason.
We'll just take all the boring running backs later.
Exactly. I mean, we just take the old busted ones, right?
Yeah, we'll have a 5-6 turn of David Montgomery and I don't know, Jalen Warren or something.
Yeah, now we're talking. Now we're getting gross.
Get ready to learn Tony Pollard.
Yeah, which, like, again, could in theory work. Doesn't sound fun to work, but same exact choice, Nico and Neighbors.
You want to go Neighbors this time because we went Nico last time?
I actually want to go Nico again.
Okay.
Run it back. Why not?
Double down.
I've got
What What happens
But-
if we do just have the same team minus Chase and Puka? Like, how's that work in like the last round?
I mean, that's basically if you think that round 2 through 16 are correct and your round 1's the variable, then I guess you could. But we'll see.
I'm always a little curious because like obviously people have like a large amount of exposure to some folks, right? To certain players, and then at one point like you probably have very similar teams across your like drafts, right? Like if you keep always clicking Greg Dulcich, like
Depends.
Yeah, I mean there are some drafters, especially on Twitter. There's a famous user called Hit Him with the Gritty who like basically drafts the same team 150 times in every contest. Are we good with Brees here? Rashi fell a little bit. That's about it. Devonta, Olave, Zay.
I'm going with Brees or Love.
I would say Brees or Olave, so I guess Brees. Yeah.
We'll go Brees. But yeah, like he basically has like 50+% exposure to like almost his entire team, and he just has stands on players the whole time. There's an interesting like cult view of the best ball community of like, you know, we all know that week 17 is all that matters in pretty much all of these contests outside of drafters, and there's there's a sizable group of people who believe that advance rate is all that matters because they posit that nothing but chaos happens weeks 15 through 17, and you can't really control that, so to speak. But the problem with that is that the advance rate bros really lean on player takes and really lean on being right in certain positions, which again, if you're right in the regular season, will advance a lot of your teams. You know, if you picked Jonathan Taylor last year, you had a very high advance rate. It was like 20-something%, which is insane for like a second round pick. But the problem is that if that particular player busts any of weeks 15, 16, or 17, almost all of your teams are dead unless you just happen to have like one of the other 2 or 3 players that happen to also go off at the same time. So it's like people will be like, well, I would rather advance 40% of my teams than advance 8% of my teams. And like, so far it's played out where the advance rate bros have never won. And it's always just, I mean, here's the thing. It's hard to get to week 17 in the first place. Like, if you were to max the contest every single year, statistically, it should take you 10 years to get one finals team. That's how unlikely it is to get there. So like,
and that's where they say, like you got to get there first, you got to worry about getting there first. Got to need a ticket to the dance. And so, that's where people will lean on advance rate. And correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't there also in the Venn diagram a good overlap between advance rate and boomer-ish?
Somewhat. I mean, not necessarily boomer-ish, but it's more boomer. It's more so just like they're the type of people who like hate sims, who don't think correlation matters at all, who don't think week 17 matters at all, that kind of stuff. We are.
Come on, Scat.
We are one pick away from Mr. Loveland.
No, I will drive Scattaboo to your house to not have to draft him.
Well, that's good. He went.
Don't drive to my house. Eat all my crayons.
We're good with Mr. Holston Loveland here at 46.
Yes. Smash.
I do like the running backs coming back as well. We could go wide receiver, but this is kind of last stop for running back for a while. So totally up to us. I'm not a huge Swift person. He goes anyways. We can go Trevion again. We can go Judkins. Bucky just went. So it's Judkins, Henderson, Evans, JMO.
You know where I am when it comes to Hendo.
Of those two, I'll pick the player on the better team. I would pick Hendo.
Yeah. And then I probably think I forget how far away our picks are between
now we're all the way at the end.
Okay.
So,
right.
Yeah. We're not until pick 70. Okay. Yeah. So we're probably going to be looking at probably Caleb. Or the Burden drafter is on the inside of us, so we almost certainly can't push Caleb around the turn.
Sure.
Um,
I'm cool with that.
Also Burrow, because we have Chase.
Yeah. The amount of Caleb Loveland teams I have is probably irresponsible at this point.
I think most of mine are Caleb Burden, usually because I don't get Loveland, because it's kind of rare he actually falls to this side of the board for me. And I have too much Bowers and McBride, so I tend to not take as much Loveland because of it. But I'm basically just not going to draft Bowers again until we hear that he's not getting season-ending surgery like Pearsall did.
You know what? I have to admit, I must have missed something with Bowers. Was it today?
I've been hearing a lot, and honestly, it's right before we hopped on here. I was like seeing some amount of worry or concern about Bowers, but you said it was a PCL, Tim?
Yeah, Sean posted in our Discord that like he's dealing with the same PCL problem that Pearsall was dealing with because he injured it in the same way that Pearsall did last year. But that's the only news I've seen. I didn't see where that came from. I didn't see like what their plan is. He played in preseason, I thought. Maybe not. Maybe he sat out. No, he played one snap, if I remember correctly.
So aggregate across all underdog drafts I have 20% Bowers. That's not
Start drafting Michael Mayer. Start drafting a lot of Michael Mayer just in case. Yeah. But Bowers, respectfully, is also way more of a freak athlete, not Ricky Pearsall type of player. So
listen, Ricky Rolex. All right. Do not sleep on Ricky Rolex.
So interesting question here. We're probably going to have both Burrow and Caleb available. Do we take Caleb to push out the Burden drafter and see if we can get Burrow around the turn?
Or I was going to check where the T. Higgins drafter was.
He's on the other side.
Oh, then I would maybe go Caleb first.
We can try it.
Would we?
Hurts are also still here.
Would we be okay walking away with spending 2 picks in this range on a quarterback? That was the question.
I'm perfectly fine with it because every other pick in this round suck to me. Like Pollard is gross but okay. Like Kraft is fine but injured. Brooks is like so much projection that I usually do, but like he still keeps climbing. People won't stop taking him.
Yeah, I again, he's another guy. I got like 15%, but most of that was when he was cheap.
Yeah, I'm at 14%, and most of it's later than 100 for the most part. So it's like he's fun on 0 RB teams for sure, but it's like, well, we get Burrow back.
Burrow, So like my 2 cents on this would be because of these 2 QBs in particular, and these 2 stacks in particular. Like, I'm okay with this. I think Joe Burrow has potential to truly be like top 3 quarterback if he stays healthy and just throws for like pretty dang close to 5,000 yards.
Yeah,
I want that on my team. And if he's not perfect, then that's okay because then we got Caleb, who at least like can be a pretty boom type of player. Like I feel like he's had a lot of big games, even though like some games he disappears. Hopefully, second year with Ben Johnson, this all kind of fades away and he doesn't have a 40% completion percentage or whatever. So
it sounds very promising so far from camp. I was watching Mina Kimes with I forget her name, but she's basically like the athletic reporter who covers the NFC North, and she was like, yeah, basically the camp with Caleb this year versus last year is like complete night and day. Like last year was an absolute disaster, and like it was on purpose because Ben Johnson like literally came out and said last year, like, I'm putting too much on Caleb's plate because I want to see how much he can mentally and physically handle, and then I'm going to create my playbook around that. And this year it's just like Caleb understands it all. He's even said like I can start like anticipating defenses, I can start reading defenses, I don't have to think about the playbook, the calls. So like take that with the fact that he's the number 1 overall pick and like one of the most talented quarterbacks we've seen out of college in the past 20 years. And like in this offense, I'm super in on the Bears. Also, not to mention, both these quarterbacks have like fantastic week 17 games. Like Bengals and Ravens is like almost always a shootout, even if there's weather, and Bears and Lions is almost always a shootout, regardless of weather. So like they are premier week 17 games. The odds that at least one of those two quarterbacks is one of the QBs you need in week 17 feels strong to me. And Loveland could be the tight end one.
Absolutely. Another thing that we were talking about before, as far as like philosophical approaches to things, and maybe this is going to move too quickly, but even people who are within certain camps still have differing opinions. So like even people who won 50 max, for example, some people will say, hey, listen, like the chances of you getting a team far are so infinitesimal anyway, you might as well just take your stands, plant your flags, get overweight on your guys. Yeah. Whereas other people will try to, generally stay close to that 8% band and not take too many, really strong stands either way.
Yeah. Are we good with Michael Pittman as wide receiver 3, J.K. Dobbins, Harold Fannin?
Oh, we only have 3 wide receivers. Yeah, Pittman's fine.
We only have 2 wide receivers.
Oh.
Yeah.
It feels gross, but honestly, yeah, sure, go for it.
I think it's fine because I don't know. That's just points. Like Pittman is just points. That's all it is. It's not a lot of exciting.
He's the number one. He's the number 1 target in a Mike McCarthy offense. If you want to paint it rosily,
and he's much more friendly to
just stupid head.
Yes, Aaron Rodgers. Exactly. I try to get him out of like knowing that he exists is a pain in my butt. But to his ADOT these days, which DK I think is not as good for.
Yeah, and I don't think like DK is a fun athletic freak, but like he's a fine route runner. He's not really the kind of guy who's just like, he's not AJ Brown. Like AJ Brown, everyone thinks they're like kind of synonymous. I'm like, no, AJ Brown's an actual freak. Dobbins, Fannin, Monangai, Mason, Chuba, Gainwell.
Where are we at running back? We only have 2, right?
Brees and Hendo is all we've got.
What are your thoughts on the Monangai injury? I haven't heard anything in a day or so.
We'll go Monangai. It's just a hyperextended. So like he's gonna miss maybe week 1, but like we also made a huge Bears bet, so I went Monangai just like team correlation.
Oh, right, yeah.
He doesn't have to be the RB2 for us right away. Like we can get other points later that can supplement him early if we need. And like if DeAndre Swift goes down, he's one of the best picks in fantasy because he's going to be in a great offense and his competition is respectfully Roschon Johnson. So
you're talking to somebody who was like, you know what? I'm going to stash some Coleman Bennett on my taxi squads in Dynasty because I think he's better than Roschon. And they waived Coleman Bennett. So, yeah.
Hey, shoot your shot. That's what tech is all about.
See, I was very directionally accurate last year, and I had 16% Roschon Johnson, which would have been correct if Kyle Monangai was not better than him.
See, here's the problem.
Yeah,
you didn't come down to the birthplace of college football to watch Kyle Monangai play.
Listen, when I hear
how talented that guy was,
I should have learned by now that 6th or 7th round Rutgers running backs are always going to surprise me. So just got to.
It's weird that's happened twice, huh?
Right?
I had a nickel.
And they got a guy, Antoine Raymond. He's probably going to be higher than 7th round, but
yeah,
he's rising in sort of Debbie stuff as well.
Yep.
Did you go to Rutgers, Brian?
No, I'm just down the street from them, so
yeah.
I like hear all the stadium sounds, honestly, and I go walk through the park next to it, and then I decided, all right, I guess I'll be like a tangential Rutgers fan because everyone over here is. So, and I knew, and it's so stupid, but I knew a bunch of names on that team from playing NCAA 25. And I was like, oh, sweet, that's pretty cool. And then I was like, oh wait, these players are actually kind of relevant in fantasy now. Minus, I don't think 8th and Calia Commandus is gonna really do anything, but it was cool though. It was cool to see him hit the field.
We have about 4 picks left until we're up. I have queued up Casey Concepcion, Rashad White, Romeo Dubs, Dejon Stribling, Aaron Jones. If there's tight ends we like, Kittle, Kelsey, and Kincaid are all here.
I probably like Stribling above White, but I am for sure agreeing with KC at the top of that. So
Okay.
anything below that, is I'd go
So
either way.
We'll
Yeah,
go
take KC, Kevin.
KC then. Get our fourth receiver, which feels good. They all have different buys at least, so we're not too much of a bind there. I will kind of be boring here and say that Aaron Jones or Rashad White are probably good picks with Hendo and Monangai as our 2 and 3 of like possibly needing a few early season points to supplement them. I think both are totally fine at that.
I'd prefer White to Jones like you have it. So
yeah. I like Stribling. I don't know. Taking him in the 11th feels like
Feels like you're buying in a little too much. Buying a little too much with that 6 target game.
Yeah, we'll go White. I don't think it's like bad necessarily because like the other options in this range are not good, like not any better. It's Debo, it's Coker, Shakir, Shaheed, like whatever, who cares? But like there is still a chance that like he just doesn't pay off and there's just like way too much hype for him because like man was that prospect profile rough. Like that was there's a reason.
I think people who say that misread the profile or define profile way too much toward production and data.
Yeah.
My personal opinion. I happen to use a lot of both. And I also I will definitely say that the right narrative, the right coach speak, the right clip, the right, if Dane Brugler is saying it, I'm believing it kind of that's part fair. Of to me, that's part of the profile. When Brugler says, don't be surprised if Stribling goes in day 2 and it's 7 days before the draft, that's part of the profile for me, so
yeah. And it's hard to ignore 33rd overall pick for sure. I don't think I'll say this, I don't think he'll ever be as bad as Xavier Legette or Keon Coleman or anything like that. I think he's got a higher floor than that for sure. The ceiling is high because we like Kyle Shanahan offenses. We like their receivers. He gets his players the ball. So it's definitely kind of a higher floor than we're thinking. The ceiling is high. It's just, to be honest, it's probably sticker shock because I used to get this guy in the 16th round every time.
Yeah.
And now
I didn't realize he had already crept up to the 11th.
Yeah, ADP of 120 something. He's almost in the 10th at this point. And
I was getting him in the 130s even just 2 days ago.
Yeah. We were about on the clock. Probably don't want Boston and Concepcion. Johnson just went. Mm-hmm. Oh boy. Woody Marks, Tyler Algier, Jalen Naylor, Travis Hunter, Jonah Coleman again.
I think Algier's intriguing to me. Those high ankle sprains can be a son of a gun.
Yeah. And he was going to get playing time even if Love was healthy. He was probably just going to do exactly what he did to rookie Bijan, where it's I'm annoying. I took 10 goal line snaps from you. I scored 4 touchdowns on them. And that's fine as my running back 5. He's going to score points.
Mm-hmm.
Are you Travis Hunter pilled?
Oh yeah. I'm at least smoking the hopium. For sure.
Yeah. Perfect. That'll be target. Jalen McMillan is also fine by me. Coleman, Bigsby, Tajay Spears is fine.
I think I have 15% Hunter actually. So
I have 23% and climbing.
It can go more. We can do more.
Yep. Also Brenton Strange and Hunter Henry if we want to be done at tight end.
What's our other? Because there'll be 2 tight end.
Who do we have at tight end?
Loveland.
What are your thoughts on my other baby boy, Eli Raritan?
Yes. See, this is why more Bryan should come together because we just only confirm our own biases or confirm our priors rather. This Fantastic. Sorry, keep going.
Yeah. We went
Is,
Hunter.
is this a safe space? Is this an Eli safe space over here?
I mean, the coach speak is good. Like, he was my tight end 3 pre-draft.
Yeah.
Like, because for me, it was basically one, they're all kind of sucky, but at least Sadiq is a freak and Stowers is a freak B. And then everyone else is just like, well, if they get a good draft capital in a good spot, they're the tight end 3. So I think he moved down to like tight end 6 for me after the draft just because I got Justin Jolie pilled. But, good coach speak. They still, it's basically AJ Brown and Romeo Dubs and God knows what else after that. And like Hunter Henry's wrong side of 30, pretty replaceable. Raridan's getting good coach speak. So I'm definitely like, hey man, he could get a lot of work as a rookie.
So, number one, I think the reporter's name you might have been referring to is Carmen Vitale. Does that ring a bell?
Yes.
Okay. And actually, Raridan is part of, I forgot, one of my 7 points on Henderson. I think there needs to be a 7B on the zone scheme thing. They brought in Julian Hill and Reggie Gilliam.
Yes, they did.
A big tight end and a fullback. They were going to use heavier formations to create more lanes on the outside for Hendo to run through. But we know now that Julian Hill is also out for the year, right?
Yeah.
So we know that Raridan's going to have to pick up some of those snaps and be on the field now more for that. So it's if he didn't have the like early in college those 2 injuries.
Wicks, Flournoy, Jaden Blue, Malik Washington, Adonai Mitchell, Pat Bryant again.
Wicks, Flournoy, or Blue. I'm into. Yeah.
Let's give Wicks a go.
Yeah, we don't have much Wicks. I think we need more Wicks, to be honest. Like, he sounds like he's gonna get a lot of playing time with the Eagles.
Yeah. Quick question. Hey, Smoothie, welcome back. Should I take Sun God, JT, Jefferson, Lamb, or at Lamb at 8 if available? I'm kind of curious to see. I think I know what Tim's answer.
Underdog?
No, this is just redraft. This is just.
They said full PPR last time, right?
Yeah,
I think.
Right.
So definitely not JT in full PPR.
I'm going Amon-Ra in full PPR.
Yeah,
I think Jefferson and Lamb are undervalued in a lot of rooms, but
we're on the clock again.
Can't really go wrong with Amon-Ra in PPR.
Pick Jaden Blue.
Deal.
Just gonna quickly pick. This is, I mean, we haven't really got there yet. I don't even know if we even had a chance to queue up Tank Dell last draft because we were pretty wide receiver heavy to begin with.
Goes immediately.
Would you look at that?
Well, I had Schultz.
You called it.
I had Tieford and Schultz queued up for our last pick, and then they just like went.
Jalen Noel might be another guy to queue up there too. Coming out of college, some people said Noel was better, especially if Higgins didn't get usage as a Z or big slot, and people stereotyped him as an X.
I was one of the people who thought that Noel was just a better looking prospect than Higgins right away, and it was a real bummer they went to the same team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that you can argue he's got more versatility for the current sort of NFL meta, so.
And like, he's probably more likely to be a 12 wide receiver than Tank Dell would be, like, especially considering Tank Dell's knee was destroyed on a blocking assignment on the goal line. Right. Yeah. So they're probably never going to put Tank Dell in that situation again.
Dude, first snap, fullback. Tank Dell.
Get in there, buddy.
That'd be great.
Yep.
Establish it.
Exposure therapy. Get up in the I formation.
It's like you're gonna be fine, buddy.
21.
It's just I think they play the Bills in week 1 as well. So it's
gosh.
You're fine. Everything's okay.
This is a great question. Is Taylor Green still available? Tim, can you go check and see if Taylor Green's on the board?
No, I think I don't need to check. I think I'm good.
Interesting.
I legitimately was like, "Who's Green?" I wouldn't even Dynasty. I have some Taylor Green on my taxi, so it's not like I don't know who he is. But like the idea of bringing him up in it's like a war crime to draft him in an under.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Isn't
That's not good. That doesn't sound very good.
Yeah, it is a war crime. But unfortunately,
Interesting.
we have a team that has Taylon Green on
Nah,
it.
it's
So
listen. I probably have some from pre-draft. I probably said YOLO on a third quarterback.
I wish it was from pre-draft.
No, I'm saying, and even in like post-draft, I probably said YOLO. On a day that I was feeling bad about their room, and I said, hey, by week 15, he's going to be in there. Running around. So, yeah, listen, you gotta keep it spicy.
Look, 1%.
So I have committed work. It's at least I'm honest.
Yeah, and look, hey, it's okay. We're not, we're not going to the Hague yet. We're good.
Any interest in Sadiq with a very consistent scorer in Loveland as the tight end 1?
Sure.
I think it'd be fun. I think it's a fun combo.
We can still tack on a third later if we feel so inclined. Otherwise, I think we'll just take Noel in the 16th. That's not enough.
We're certainly never going to get Sadiq ever again.
Cool. Jalen Noel it is. So we got 2 rounds left. We have a 2-6-7-1. Definitely need at least one tight end. Caleb and Joe Burrow at quarterback, done there. Brees Hall, Trevion, Kyle Monangai, Rashad White, Tyler Algier, Jaden Blue at running back. Wide receiver is Jamar Chase, Nico Collins, Michael Pittman, Casey Concepcion, Travis Hunter, Dontavian Wicks, and Jalen Noel. And then Loveland is the lone tight end.
Are you thinking 7 running backs and 2 tight ends? Or are you thinking...
Yeah, or even 8 wide receivers and 2 tight ends. I think just Gunnar Helm here for me at tight end.
Sure.
Again,
I would like that.
Yeah.
That, I mean, him or Muth both work just as, again, like a consistent...
just really don't want to have 19% Pat Fryer move. I'm going to be real. I'm trying to get that way down.
Not going to have a good time.
But like if Jeremy Bernard's on the board in the 18th, like I'm just going to smash the button on that, to be honest.
That seems okay.
I think Devon Bailey is a good 18th round pick with this Tyson injury.
Isn't he also hurt? Isn't he also missing time right now? I thought that was like a whole thing about why Bryce Lance is getting a lot of run right now.
Says he had a rest day on Tuesday, but not an injury.
I wonder why.
Because he's a 31-year-old third-year player.
Yeah.
I mean, if Tesla makes it all the way back, that's a good pick.
Right.
Trevor Lawrence is younger than Tyler. I don't mean to do the meme, but like Trevor Lawrence is younger than Tyler Shaw. So.
Yeah,
I love it. It's the best. Just real quick, I think we all kind of agree. It probably does not hurt Scat's value, the signing of Najee.
I don't know.
Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm wrong.
They're making very stupid comments about what they want Najee Harris to be. Time will tell if Najee Harris has the ability to be what they want him to be, but this is also the coaching staff to just continue to slam a square peg into a round hole until it fits. So they really want this to be a 1-2 punch, and I don't really think that has any merit or brain cells attributed to it, but that would also describe this Giants coaching staff pretty accurately.
Also describe Cam Scadaboo.
Yeah, and Najee Harris, sticking his face in front of a firework and seeing how that goes.
I'm of the opinion that Devin Singletary is probably going to get cut or like whatever, traded for like a 7th round pick or something like that. I happen to also think it's closer to nothing burger than something to worry about. But I also was much heavier into Tracy than I was Scadaboo at cost. It's bias, I'll admit. I just don't like Scadaboo. I think he's a cartoon character cosplaying as a football player. And one way or another, something's going to go wrong, whether it's on the field, whether it's WWE, whatever. I just don't think he's as good as people think. You know how people say, oh, if Marvin Harrison didn't have yeah, well, if Cam Scadaboo didn't run around like the video game Bonk from TurboGrafx, he wouldn't be, as popular as he is either. So, I don't know.
Yeah, he was a good pick last year because he was cheap. He went in the 4th. This year, it's like I have to draft him in the 40s. Vele, Emmett Johnson. I have Justice Hill queued.
I'd be an Emmett guy on that one. He's my boy.
That works for me.
And that'd be what? And that's number 7.
Yes. So we'll finish with a 2772. Cool. I'll recap this
Beautiful.
team super quick. 2772. Caleb Williams, Joe Burrow at quarterback, Brees Hall, Hendo, Kyle Monungai, Rashad White, Tyler Algier, Jaden Blue, Emmett Johnson at running back, Chase, Nico Collins, Michael Pittman, Casey Concepcion, Travis Hunter, Dontavian Wicks, Jalen Knoll at wide receiver, and Colston Loveland and Gunnar Helm at tight end.
I love it. I love it.
We kind of went boomer, just like with non-boomer picks.
And we did it more than we did last time, so that's part.
Yeah. I mean, we went elite quarterback, double elite quarterback, elite tight end, like only 2 wide receivers through 7 rounds. Like that's pretty
yeah.
boomish.
Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure.
But,
especially that last 2 through 7. I didn't realize we did that.
But that's also like, I think that's how you should do it, because the boomers will actually draft boomer players in that structure, but we just didn't do that. We drafted slappy players in a boomer structure.
I like how you're saying that. Yeah. So another thing that I wanted to mention before we get out of here about the overcorrection at the 1-2 turn. One of the reasons I'm saying that this year is people are saying, oh, this and that changes in the NFL, running back fly up the board. Yes, but the changes in the NFL also are really, really good for wide receiver ones on their NFL teams, because more and more and more, as the heavier formations increase, their snap and route percentage relative to the other pass catchers that are on the field or on their team, relative to the target competition, et cetera, right? Like, they're going to benefit the most from that. And I think people are maybe, like, for example, practically speaking, I would pull up London, I would pull up Nico into that mix on that 1-2 turn with that green. I don't think it's bad to do that.
No. We've even done neighbors at that turn. Like, I think like even AJ Brown I'm okay with, although it's a little more squeamish just with like some age and efficiency drop off concerns, but it's also Drake May, so could be fine. But like, yeah, I think like I usually take Jefferson or Lamb at the back end when I can, because I don't like going double running back to start. And like, I'm open before this injury. I was open to taking Bowers at the 12-13 turn. I was open to London. I was open to AJ Brown. And like, I think Nico goes in that conversation now. I think Neighbors is in that conversation as long as we continue to get good stuff about his health. So yeah, I think like the running back, just like picks 8 through 12, just being like solid green is just kind of like, I wouldn't do that personally. Like, some teams, sure, but like over a large portfolio, just like every time you get it, it's like time for 2 running backs. It's like, no, most of these running backs are not going to pay off their ADP, be it injury, be it they're not efficient enough, be it the offense sucks. Like, there's a very low chance that everyone from McCaffrey through Henry all pays off their ADP. It's like,
well, let me ask you a question, right? Because you're saying, and I agree, right? Like, the chances of all these guys paying off their ADP, right?
Yep.
Question about a lot of best ball folks will tether themselves to ADP really tightly, or that's part of the game, right?
Yep.
And value hound and that kind of thing. But also, if we know for sure, and this matters more in the first 2 rounds, I would think, the order in which they're being drafted, 99% is not going to be the order in which they finish.
Yep.
Isn't there at least some incentive or edge or whatever to, strain a little bit away from ADP and spicing it up? Like,
there's a huge incentive, I would say. And I think that like we didn't really get a chance to do it just because we got the 3 pick and the 4 pick. But like, if we got a back half pick, like we were going to go unique there almost. Certainly. We just didn't really get the shot. But yeah, like, like in our redraft draft today, I took Ken Walker at 108 and everyone was like, that's an awful pick. And I'm like, why? Like, he has just as much upside as basically everyone going from the 108 through the 26. Like, doesn't really matter. Like, I would rather just go and get the the bet that I think is the best out of that bet. And like, I would rather just grab someone else in the next round and not be like, oh, this is the only guy that fell back to me, so I guess I'll take him. I ended up getting Genty, which was kind of weird, but like, you know, how many Genty Walker teams are there? There's hundreds, probably even thousands at this point. Like, how many, you know, if you pull up Walker to the 105 or something, or you pulled up Genty to the 105, like, if you think the running back tier is flat after the first two, like how many Genty and I don't know, like let's say Drake London is there, let's say one of like Neighbors, Pickens, like how many Genty Pickens teams are there? Probably not that many, because Pickens is usually only pulled up to go with Lamb because someone does a Cowboys giga stack, or he's always at the 2-3 turn and he never falls back to like the 310. So like people don't get unique enough in the first few rounds, and like then they get too unique in rounds like 4 through 7 where they're just like, oh, I'm just gonna have a 0% fade on like half of these guys, and I'm like, most of these guys are gonna suck. Like almost no one pays off their ADPs in rounds 4 through 6. So like you need to have a decent amount of exposure across a lot of these guys, because you don't know. Like I am super in on Jalen Waddle. If he tears something in week 1, like that's like 20% of my teams are just flushed down the toilet for funsies.
Like I think my only contribution to this conversation is just that, like, with the example of Ken Walker in the draft that we had earlier today, like pulling him up in such a way, like it always is harder for me to then like rationalize the fact that like when you do play the ADP game, say like you really like Ken Walker and you're at like that 108, like I always think it benefits you to still grab someone who is at ADP and then still get Walker, because then now you're kind of like making sure that you get both like, you know, the chalky elite option there, and then also like the person you really think is now the RB1 but at a discount. That's like kind of where I would sit with something like that. But like, you know, to the initial point, like you don't really like this draft board is not the end all be all. Like this will not be how everyone finishes. So taking stabs, taking reaches, like it's honestly just ingrained in us as like fantasy football players to then kind of mock somebody for taking a reach, for like reaching for somebody.
Yeah.
And yet we should probably like stop doing that, because that's exactly how you win your league.
Well, and you know, in redraft doesn't really matter as much. Like there's like 6 guys that matter in fantasy every year anyways, and you just need to have 2 of them to be having a shot for a championship pretty much. Like that's how I play redraft, is just like there's almost no one matters. Everyone's in a 8 to 12 point per game pocket for the most part, and a few people score 20 plus, and that's who you're aiming for. But like over a best ball portfolio, like there's a reason that all of these tools have like combos and like exposures and whatnot of like, yeah, you don't want every single Ashton Genty team that you draft to have Devon Achane in the second. Like that's just asking for, that's like kind of going back to what I was talking about earlier of like this cult of just like advance rate bros. Like they would be the types of people who just continually click the combo in 1-2 that they think is the best every single time. They have like 75% exposure to that combo. If it pays off and they're 2 of the players that you quote unquote need, that's great. If they both miss week 15 because they both pulled a hammy in their week 14 games, guess what? All your teams are dead. You won nothing. Congratulations. Nothing happened for you this year, but you had a cool screenshot on Twitter. So I think it's certainly like you in the back half of the board, especially like if you see a very clear tier break compared to, especially like, you know, I always say that I see 4 picks and then it's a flat-ish tier for me after that. Like at the 105, like you should be getting unique sometimes. Like you should take CMC sometimes, you should take JSN, you should take Amon-Ra, you should take Taylor, Genty, Lamb, Jefferson, any running back you think is worth it, because you're going to get somewhat unique combos at whoever falls back to you at the 2-9 or whatever that is, 2-8, and you want that. especially when you think ADP is flat, and especially if you think that ADP doesn't matter that much in the grand scheme of like most of these guys are going to finish around each other anyways.
Now, this may be a dumb question because you're kind of doing one by doing the other anyway, and it's kind of hard to separate them. But do you think it's more important to have combinatorial uniqueness or that sort of thing relative to the other people in the slate, or relative to like your like portfolio? You know, do you hear it? You know what I mean by that?
I think it's both. I think like, you know, I am not the type of person that can do thousands of drafts in a summer.
Sure.
We have to win for that to become the reality. But like, I have like 250 teams this summer so far. And
listen,
like,
I got a lot of little Dalmatians.
Exactly. Like, you know, a lot of cheap entries. You know, I probably have like $2,000 total out of all of these combined, like at most. And it's like, you know, if you're maxing Best Ball Mania, I think like combinatorial uniqueness is very important because like there's 100,000 plus entries into this sucker and only one wins. And like you have to advance one of 12, like I think it's one of 16, one of 14, the 3 weeks before you get to the we can actually look. It's almost like I have Underdog pulled up and we can actually like take a look at what the advance rate is. In the meantime, real quick, do we want to answer the chat question while I'm pulling this up? There we go. If CMC falls to you at 8, should you take him because of his injury history? I say yes. In redraft, like I got unique in our mock draft just to spur some conversation. I probably in my heart of hearts would have taken CMC over Walker, but like I think if any time that CMC is on the board and you don't have to reach for him in ADP, I think you should just click him, and like if you die with him, you die with him, but like if he's healthy, you're not going to die with him. You're going to do well with him. Like he does not have a floor. His floor is 20 points per game, like in every format, just flat out. It doesn't matter if his entire rushing ability just goes out the window, which it seems like it kind of is. It doesn't matter because the Niners just target the absolute loving piss out of him and they don't stop. And all of their players are injured again. So they're going to do it again this year. That's my CMC take.
Yeah, I've found him a tough click almost since the start, and I probably, I don't know. I'm probably wrong, like because the floor is, you know, I think I have like 3%, and like that's just too little.
That's the thing about both CMC and Henry to me is like I've been out on them for 2 years, and they just keep doing it, and I'm like, listen, all of these are going to lose anyways for the most part. So like, I would rather at least take players that like have done it, you know, like taking Genty over CMC is just like, man, Ashton Genty could be anything, even Christian McCaffrey from last year.
Well, but like, Alan, so the injury doesn't spook you in the sense that it's like an alternating year thing. Like it's okay to be off him on the year that he's coming off like 797,000 touches. Like I was okay being on him relatively last year.
Yeah.
Right. Because he didn't have calf tightness or whatever at the beginning of the year. Yeah. Now he's got it again. It's like 2024 flashbacks. I don't know.
Yeah. I just like, to be honest, my thing is truly like, I don't think injury is predictive at all. Like, you can say that some players are more prone to getting injured than others. And like CMC has somewhat of a history of that, but he also has a lot of years where he isn't getting injured. And like, again, I know that there's a lot of data of like running backs who have like X amount of touches in the season prior tend to fall off, but it's also like running backs also aren't built like Christian McCaffrey and Derrick Henry. Like these guys came out of labs and they are freaks and they don't really they don't really follow the laws of physics or laws of generally what we think of the average NFL player. So like I tend to just, when players are elite, I just ride them until they're not elite anymore. And then once I see that they're for sure not elite and they for sure aren't putting up fantasy, then I lose and like I'm done with it. But like, I rode I've ridden Travis Kelce every year. I'm just like, he's just going to keep getting targets. Doesn't matter that he can't do anything with them anymore. He just keeps getting targets.
Now he's got somebody to do that for him every day.
Yeah. So like, yeah, I think it's certainly fair, but like at pick 8, like there's no one else where I'm just like, oh yeah, but they're just like way better and in a way better situation. Like there's no one in that situation to me. Like I would argue the closest actually is Ken Walker.
Would that change for you in say DK when it's PPR and you're like more comfortable with Lamb?
I would actually like McCaffrey more in PPR because I think that's how he's going to continue to have a floor. Yeah. Like for me, it's like, again, like one team wins these contests. Like even in redraft, like one team wins your league. Like every player has risk. Every player can and probably will get hurt at some point. It's just who projects well. And CMC, we're going to pull up the week 1 slate. Bryan and I already talked about the week 1 slate. Guess who's going to be, the highest projected running back in every sim? It's CMC. Every week, it's going to be CMC. He's going to be the highest cost running back every single week in DFS. He's going to be the 101 to 103 in like every weekly game. And like, as long as he's healthy, we're only getting a discount because his age starts with a 3 and he had an injury 2 years ago. So to me, I'm just like, if it fails, it fails. But I'm not going to draft him scared because I think there's just as much downside to every other running back in that range for me. It's just different types of what the downside entails.
That's fair.
Alrighty. We done? Do we want another one? What are we feeling?
I think if we do one more, I probably will be dipping. So if you guys want to keep riding, because I know you got the BBMs staring at us right here. But
well, I just wanted to pull up the advancement rate on this because that's kind of what we were talking about of like, where is it? Yeah, so
it's 2. Geez.
Yeah, 2 of 12, 1 of 14, 1 of 12, 667 people. This is a 672,000 entrant tournament. Like, I think combinations are like not all that matters, but like they're very much more important than I think even the major best ball players like to admit. Of like,
and what you're saying, and sorry to interrupt you, is that it's more impactful to do it in the more decisive and impactful rounds, which are early.
Yep.
Whereas some people would say that's when you want to stray from ADP the least and do your unique combinations later, tiers are flatter, etc.
Yeah. And like some people will say, well, like you should only do unique stuff when it's a faller because that's how you get uniqueness naturally. And like to some extent that is true, but it's also like you can't ever guarantee you're going to get the fallers is the problem. And like if you get through 120 of these suckers and you're like, I just have the same 6 combos of first and second round picks from the back half of the board every time, like great, I have 30 drafts to fix that, like whoopee, like it makes a lot more sense of like as ADP gets higher from like, counting up from 1 to 100 to whatever, like combos matter less, like it's less important because they just naturally are going to be more difficult to replicate. So you want to get unique if you think there's something flat in the first few rounds for sure. So like if with your belief that every running back is basically the same from like 110 through 26, like you should probably fade most of them. And like you should probably just be going wide receiver running back every time or double wide receiver or like You know, like,
why get unique in the rounds where things have more variance anyway?
yeah,
Get
you know,
unique where we know where the order is, so we're getting unique.
and like, yes, the other thing is like, yes, getting unique with fallers is great, but like, you know, Malik Neighbors used to go at the 3-4 turn. So like us pulling him up to the 12-13 is effectively the same exact team. It's just, you know, like if we had flipped Neighbors, took him at 13, and then like Josh Jacobs went at 36, like there's probably someone who drafted Jacobs at 12 and Neighbors at 36 at some point during this year. Like, congrats, you have the same team now in this quote unquote uniqueness thing.
I like picking folks' brains who are like experts at things, so I apologize if like this is like annoying.
No,
this has been an A plus combo. So these have been awesome questions.
Yeah, and I love to yap. So, alrighty, yeah, I think we'll call it at 2. I have plenty more content to record, and
I mean, yeah, plus we got first and second place already,
Yeah.
so like,
So I mean, everything else is just it's just lessening value.
Yeah, but yeah, I think like final takeaway of this draft, like, you know, uniqueness, you know, combinations don't matter in the Hound Dog 2, where, you know, it's a 10 entry max. There's 18,000 people total. Like, half the people are just going to be lucky to be able to max the contest in the first place because it's going to be closed probably by the weekend starts. So, you know, even getting in the contest is half the battle for the Hound Dog 2. The advancement structure is ridiculously soft. It's 4 of 12, like 2 of 6. Why is my screen so tiny? Yeah,
that looks like
2 of
6
5.
twice.
2 of 5 and 2 of 5 and a 992 seat final. Here's the thing though, if you finish 992nd, you get $30. Who cares? You don't even make your money back if you max. Like, you have to shoot for first because that's 20 grand. Like, that's how you make your money, is finishing top 10. So it's like in a tiny contest where there's very few people to deal with. It's a time box. It's going to be open like a week at most. You kind of just want to draft the best team you can, or like take stands, or however you want to do it. But yeah, like Best Ball Mania, you know, the drafters main event, the DK Millie Maker, stuff that's just open from the time regular season drafts start till the time regular season drafts end. Like, that's where combinations are going to be your best bet. That's where like getting unique without like sacrificing too much ADP. Like, you know, you don't want to take Parker Washington at 13. Like, that's kind of like, I wouldn't do that. But like, you want to take Malik Neighbors at 13. You want to take Chris Olave at 13. Like, Chris Olave never gets pulled up to the 1-2 turn, but like, who's to say that Chris Olave can't finish as a top 5 wide receiver in a given year? Like, I don't know, you know, like how many CeeDee Lamb, Chris Olave, and then like 3rd and 4th round running back starts are there? Probably 0, maybe 1 total. If you have like a Saints mega fan that doesn't understand ADP, like, you know, so stuff like that matters in huge tournaments where all the money's up top. In smaller tournaments, you kind of just want to draft good teams that can advance because, you know, it's pretty easy to get there and you don't have to. It's the same principle as DFS.
I was just thinking the same thing. I was going to say it. Yeah.
Like, if you're playing in the DK Millie Maker where there's unlimited entries for people, like, you need to get real wacky with your cheap under 5% owned type of players. Like, if you're playing in a 1,000 person tournament, like, you don't need to get weird. You don't need to get off the chalk that much. You need to have like 2 unique players out of 8, compared to like the Millie Maker. You need to have like 6 unique players out of 8.
For sure. Yeah. Which is one of the reasons why, as we were saying in the Discord, I tend to be a single entry 3 max girly. So
yeah. Yep. Alrighty, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening to us yap. Bryan, thanks so much for
it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. We will work to do that more. I'm sure we'll be drafting for the rest of the summer and probably doing dailies and weeklies once the season starts. So happy to have you on. You will be hearing from Bryan very soon. Have a lot of good Dynasty content cooking, and probably more best ball, maybe even DFS stuff in the works with him. So that will do it for us tonight, folks. Thanks for tuning in, listening to us yap, and we will catch you guys later.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to like and subscribe wherever you watch or listen to podcasts. We'll be back next week for more ways to win your league.